Hi everybody, Alex Deploy here from Expert Forex, and in today's video we're going to look at an easy and simple robot that is achieving amazing results. And what's more, you can download the simple version for free. So in this video we're going to be looking at the actual account showing this fantastic performance, and there you can see a profit of $300 with a deposit of $300. Then we're going to have a look at the actual trades taken, and there you can see a sample of those. We're going to look at the settings used and why those settings are so powerful. Then we're going to have a look at a few grid trading beliefs that have now been totally shattered. And I'm going to show you how to download the free version of the Grid Trader, and also we're going to look at some more advanced versions of the Grid Trader. So let's go straight into looking at the actual account. So let's have a look at the actual account that was traded. And here on your screen you can see a FX Blue version of the account. You can see the equity has doubled from $300 to $600. It trades the euro yen, and it has had 100% return in 53 days. And as I said earlier, it trades the simple Grid Trader Generation 3. The win rate was 75%, or roughly 75%. Now let's have a look at the drawdown in a little bit more detail. Here is the drawdown. You can see early in the account's life, the drawdown went as far as $150, and that is in fact 50% of the account. So in the beginning we used the simple versions of the Grid Trader. Then we got clever and we had Generation 2 that reduced the drawdowns dramatically, and now we have Generation 3 that is also reducing drawdowns even further. And that is what's so fantastic about this particular EA. You can see that there have been 270 trades made by the EA, so it's traded a huge number of trades, and it only uses 0.01 lots per trade, and because this is a small $300 account. Now even with it being a $300 account, it managed to double that account. Now there are many myths about grid trading, and one of them was it cannot trade in trending markets. The other one is it has too many open trades. And the other one says basically it just doesn't work. So what you're going to be seeing here is a period where the euro yen trended almost 1,000 pips, 340 pips. Then there was another 600 pip trend, and even that could be regarded as a trend of 600 too. And then there are a few other 500 pip trends and 200 pip trends. So we've put this EA through its paces. We've traded it in the most volatile market imaginable and trending market. So let's go and have a look at the trades taken, and also a little bit more at the settings of why this EA does so well. Now I've just logged into the computer that is trading this particular account, and here it is. Here you can see the EA information, and here you can see some trades since we upgraded the trading to Generation 3. So it hasn't been trading Generation 3 for its whole life. This is a basic upgrade, and the upgrades are actually quite easy because all you have to do is use the same magic number. So here are the trades that were taken, and the blue ones are the buys and the red ones are the sells. And this is a little bit confusing. I'll just open it up a little bit more and see if I can make it a bit clearer. Generation 3 started over here, and you can see it actually cashed in some of the open trades that were there when we opened up. And essentially what happens with this one, and it's not very clear on this group of trades, is that when it trades, it cashes in the positive leg and leaves the negative leg open. So after a while you can start accumulating negative legs that are open and floating around. So what then happens is that once the total of all the open negative legs and the cash-ins equals a certain amount, and in this case it was $15, then what the EA will do is close all the deals. Just close all the deals and start all over again. And this is what's happened here. I'll give you some better examples later on. So you can see there it's closed one, and there's another closed deal where it's just taken all the deals and closed them nice and positively. Let's see if there's any more of these. And there's another one where it's, in this case, it closed it at $20. So there's another group that trade. But while it's trading, it cashes in every single move in the market. So if the price goes up, it cashes in. If it goes down, it cashes in. And that's what makes this EA so powerful. So let's have a look at the settings. Now the settings are over here in the information box over here. So if anybody is interested in it, that's where the settings are. But I'm going to show you the proper settings in the actual EA itself. And there we are. Now this is what makes this EA so powerful. It only has 5 settings, and let me go through what the settings are. So the first one is the gap. What is the gap in the price levels that we're going to be using? So we're starting out here with a 55 pip gap. What does that mean? It means that this distance, that's the gap distance, is 55 pips big. That's what it means. Now if there are more than one open deals, what it does is it increases the gap size. Now that's one of the reasons why this EA is becoming safer and safer. It increases the gap size, and we've told it in the settings. So let's have a look at the settings again. To increase the gap size by 15%. So 15% of 55 must be, let's say that's 5, it's about 8. So it would go to 63. Now it's not most probably obvious here, but if you look at that distance, that's most probably 55, and then that distance there is 63, and then it would go bigger. So from 63 increased by 15% increase. Now that's a way of making grid trading safer, because the gaps become bigger, you have fewer open deals, and if the price runs, it can deal with that. So there's the second setting that we had. 15% is what we want the gap to increase by. This is what kind of lots, and as you've seen, we only trade 0.01 lots, the minimum lots allowed by this broker. And then it says what closure profit you want, and we've got 20%. $20 there. So when all of those open deals, the total of those open deals equal $20, it will just close it. Where it is, it will close it and start a new grid trading process. So it goes down to 0 and then starts again. And here's an example. And here's an example where it closed that at $20. Now, as you can see, previously the setting was 15. So what we do is we update the settings. If we see we can make more profit, we update the settings. So the current settings are at $20. So it's a very simple EA. And then it says, once you've cashed in, do you want to continue? Do you want to re-enter? And we say yes. Otherwise, you can say re-entry disabled, and it'll just stop trading. So that's basically how it works. Here are some of the trades that it's taken. Let's have a look at all of the trades that it's done so far. And here are all of the trades that it's done so far. So it started over here in late February. There's late February, and it ran all the way to today's date. And as you can see, there were there are 170 trades, and then it means that every single gap there was a trade, it was positive, and then it leaves the negative trades, but those get closed in a basket format. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't print the basket formats, but here's a basket where you see all the lines coming together like that. That's a basket closure. So there was a basket closure, and you'll see a few other ones. There was one, and so on. So that's how the trading happened. And as I showed you earlier, the distance between here and the start of the trading was something like 900 pips. And just over there, that's a 600 pip trend. So it has traded through tremendous trends, and this basket closure mechanism that we use is what has saved the grid trading. It closes all the trades. There aren't these hundreds of open trades that are floating around all the time. Also, it gets out of a bit of trouble if there has been a trend. It just closes the basket. There's another basket closure over there, and it's not very clear here, but there's a whole lot of number of basket closures. There's clearly a basket closure where all those lines go into one. Let's make it a little bit bigger, and you can see the basket closures a little bit easier. And you can see the wild market. This is the Trump market, so this is the wild market. It did very, very well in. And there's a basket closure. And I think this last bit is what we've already seen, where it got converted to the generation 3. So it's a very exciting EA. It's got these safeguards built into it. The grid increases, and it has these basket closures that make the grid start all over again, in spite of a 900 pip trend. So on your screen, you can see a portfolio that we created of 20 grid trading robots, and there you can see the results. It's the 20 in total have created a return of 40%. Fantastic, robust EA. If over 20 robots and it can produce those kind of results. It has been trading for 66 days. And let's have a look at the portfolio. What else is interesting here? Let's go and have a look at the portfolio. The robots are very robust. Look at there's the top one that I've shown you, and you can see a whole lot of others that are doing extremely well, right down to the bottom here. And we've got 2 that are struggling at the moment. Not too bad. They'll recover quite nicely. So 2 out of the 20 are slightly struggling, but the profits that the others have made, and if you look up here or there, that just you just need to double your account with one of those, and you cover all the losses of the other EAs. So that gives you an idea of what we're doing. We're trading 20 in a portfolio, and it's doing very, very well. 40% return. Okay, now the most important thing: where can you get these EAs and the free versions of these EAs? And here we are on the web page, and a link to this web page will be in the description of the video, as well as in the first commentary. So this web page covers the free EA, the generation 2, and the generation 3. And this generation 2 picture over here is a little bit easier to follow because it shows you the basket closures a lot easier. There's one basket closure, there's another big basket closure, and it continuously works that way. That's how generation 2 got the improvements that were made that created generation 2. And then generation 3, as you know, has now increased the grid sizes as it goes along. Now come and have a look at this web page, because what it has a lot of supporting videos that show you how grid trading actually works. If you're not clear about that, it's there it is. It explains how by buying and selling at every level, you give the EA a chance to cash in positively no matter which way the market moves. And then the basket closure is there to to close all the deals if that hasn't worked out too well. And then you've also got generation 3 that are now increases the grid size to make it safer and safer. So that's where that zero drawdown concept comes from, because every time it closes a basket, there's no drawdown. And here we have a table that tells you a bit about grid trading, and then if you want to read more about the simple free one, then the generation 2, generation 3, and a possible generation 4 that would be coming soon. So where do you find these? And here they are. Here's a table that tells you what the free one does, what the simple, the generation 2 one does, and generation 3 one does. And you can then just go down to the bottom here and download them. So the free one, click on there and you download the free one. If you're interested in generation 2, you click on the buy button and it is $49.95. And if you're interested in generation 3, there's the PayPal button that you can click on. So now you know how to find these fantastic EAs, and quite honestly, generation 3 is performing exceedingly well. Now I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you've learned a bit about robot trading and how safe the robot trading can be and how automatic the robot trading can be. You don't have to get involved at all. The robot will do all that work for you. You're literally making money in your sleep. Just a reminder that any links that you might need will be in the description of the video as well as in the first commentary of the video. So the actions that you can take: go and download the free one, trade it for a while. If you're comfortable with the concept of grid trading, then upgrade your trading by going to, let's say, generation 3 and experiencing the more controlled versions of grid trade. So from me, Alex Deploy, cheerio. Just a reminder to join our expert Forex community of over 30,000 Forex traders. It is free, so don't miss out on any new developments. A link is in the description of the video.